Hey, welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. Sometimes when I go live, my thing stalls and I just wait a minute for it to come back. Now, I'm only doing this live because I've tried to upload my video for today 3 times and it just processes and goes into limbo. So thanks, Mercury retrograde. So I'm doing this again. The same deck I tried at like 1 o'clock this morning, Syrian Starseed deck, and we'll see what we get, because otherwise I don't know how I'm gonna fucking get my reading up for today. Kind of annoyed that I have to do it again, considering that I went through the trouble of doing 2 of them at once to have to avoid having to do one later, but here we are. Hoping that some of the technology will still work. I did already clear this again and shuffle it, but this thing, I get a card. Apparently, the card of the day was not supposed to be guidance, so we have the Sage of Crystals. Okay, so in this deck, this is the Queen of Pentacles. Alright, so what did Crystal Head? Crystal Head vodka. She's in like a, she's standing next to a pool. Lily page and stuff. Alright, what are we getting? I love that rich chocolatey brown. You can't really, maybe you can kind of see it on here. Almost. This is a really rich chocolatey brown. My webcam is real crappy, so it doesn't pick up the colors that much. If I move this over here, I'll actually look at the camera. Kind of. Okay. Yeah, okay, I'm kind of looking at the camera now. Okay. I mean, I feel like this is sort of similar to what I was picking up earlier. So he's getting information from within. It's almost like the data that's stored in the crystal, but it has to do with the DNA. It's like clearing out, it's like defragging your DNA of toxic memories so that the messages that do come through are going to be clear. And it's okay, so I'm getting, I was going to say, because of the pentacles, it's like earthy, it's grounding, but it's like electrical. It has to do with like the magnetic field and stuff like that. So it basically has to do with clearing your energy field so that the information that you do pull out of yourself is crystal clear. And then when you ground your energy, it's like okay, so it cut out on me for a second. So it's the idea of grounding has to do with making the antenna for the image, for the messages that you receive, larger. It's like in the SETI thing, they don't have one telescope, they have an array. So here the idea of grounding is like giving you an antenna array to pick up messages, and it's sort of like it's sort of those like as above so below things. The interior information should be the same as the exterior information. It has to do with scales. So the tiny little bitty information in the DNA is it might not be like exactly the same, but it's going to be comparable on that scale to the large information that would be on like full human body scale. So there's like the DNA scale where that crystalline information is coming from, and then there's the human body scale, and then there's, you know, the galactic scale. In that way, it's a pattern of repeating things, the information that you get to like move forward in your life. It's a repeating pattern of things that comes in. So it's not exactly the same, but it'll be like in the same wheelhouse. It's like how can I do this? I mean, it's like it's kind of like in the Mandelbrot set, like the little piece is gonna be like the same as the whole, but on different scales it looks slightly different. So that the piece down here might look exactly like this piece, but the one in the middle is like a different portion of the design. It's like this one is like a ranch chip, this one is like a nacho chip, and then this one is like a mojito chip. But they're all tortilla chips, and they're all in that same like snacky flavor. That's the information. Only that this one's this big, this one's this big, and this one's over here. Now, in terms of sage of crystals, I mean, there's also just the direct hit of the word sage, like the plant used for smudging, clearing, antibacterial, what have you. And then the idea of wisdom, like knowledge and information. It's not just getting the downloads, it's seeing what the pattern is and applying it to what's going on. And then it's what would normally be the Queen of Pentacles is just an idea of a feminine energy that's gotten to a point where they're what am I trying to say? They're like I don't want to say like a master of their domain, but I mean that's basically what it is. You've reached a point where you're no longer struggling to synthesize this physical world element. So, and then crystals, it's structured. It's a precipitate. It's like something. It's like the ether is this solution, and then the precipitate is this solid material that comes out of it, and that's what crystalline structure is. It's not just like flopping around like waves. It has a rigidity to it, and that's kind of how things are in the physical world. There's certain rules that you have to follow. It's like being moved around on a board game. You know, you have to roll. You know, if you roll like the dice, you get a 6, and then you have to move in the little squares. That's kind of how things work in physical reality. You can't just like pop out and then pop back in over there. You have to go through a series of steps to get there. So as you go like here, and then you're here, and then you're here. And that's kind of what's going on here. It has to do with clarity of information, of being able to trust your ability to receive the information, and then to apply it to what's going on in your physical environment. Okay, so that's what's going on with this one. And I'm gonna get out of here. So this, I don't know if it's gonna be that clear on here. It's been a while since I've gone live. I don't know how clear it's gonna be. All this contact information is in the description box of my infomercial video. I'm gonna come back in and edit this and get the links and stuff put in down in this description here. But in the description box of my infomercial video, there's a list of tarot readings that I do. There's contacts. There's a link for, well, it's not a link, but it'll list the Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo if you want to either buy something or donate. And there's links to my coloring books and my poetry book and merch and prints and my art catalog for physical art items. So all that's going to be listed in the description box of the infomercial video, and within a couple minutes of this being posted, I'll have those links edited into this video. Is that it? I think that's it. Yes, I want to end it.